Hey, good morning, good morning. So we are back to part two of our set. And as we finish the set, it's been up overnight, so it's a little, it's still there. And so I just kind of wanted to let you know how many curls I had in place. Said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I had 16 curls, and I'm going to start at the very bottom, and I'm going to use my hands to pull some of this curl out because the oils from my hand will also put some gloss back into it. And so what you're going to do as you pull each clip out, I'm going to have you work from the bottom and then going side to side until we get it all combed out. And so what I'm first going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and smooth it out some. And if you have spray, it must be a spray that's a light hold. And the Enviro spray by Chi is pretty light. You don't have to use this one, but it is one of the sprays that some of the products that we have here. So I'm just going to give it a light glaze. And as I pull the curls off, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush. You might either have a black one or a red one. Either one is fine. And so before I continue to remove everything else, I'm going to take it and I'm going to just put a little cushion. So when I'm putting my brushes in, you must go all the way to the scalp. And just softly just put about maybe 3 sweeps of cushion and then let it go. And there's your curl for right now. And then I'm going to go ahead and take off my next one. And same concept. I'm going to kind of like pull my hands through it and just to kind of get some of that curl loosened up some because this is more of a loose style. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. And I'm going to take my brush and just going to push all the way to the scalp. So a lot of that's going to be brushed out, but I need that cushion for volume. And then I'm going to let it go. Okay, take my next one out. And then now that I'm at a wider section, I'm going to take this one out, this one, and this one. And I'll do the same thing. I put the oils from my hands. You can also use a pliable polish, or you can use something like Silk Infusion on your hands and then just kind of pull through. I don't ever put those products at the scalp. I usually just go like from the mid shaft to the ends. So once I pull that out, I can go ahead and just brush it slightly, just to kind of give it a little sweep. And then I'm going to take my brush, and then again, I'm going to put my cushion all the way to the scalp. So when I put it in, I'm going to take the teeth of my brush and then just go ahead and pull the teasing and the cushion all the way to the scalp. And you'll still have hair here, and then let it fall. And it may not look like much right now, but you'll be surprised at how pretty this comb out will be. Now, you have to remember this mannequin is not real, so she doesn't have the gloss and the sheen that I wish she had if she were, a human person. So 1, 2, pull it with your hands, get some of that oil, natural oils from your hand. And I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to pull it to an angle, and I'm just going to put my cushion all the way into the scalp. And I'm doing like 3 sweeps, but make sure that you push that cushion all the way into the scalp like so. And then let it fall. Then I'm going to move over to this side and I'm going to do the same thing. Pull them down and then push to the scalp. 1, 2, and 3, and let it down. Pull my next one. Now, if I were in the salon working, and only because I'm demoing, I'm moving a little slower, but if I were in the salon, I'd probably already have all this brushed out, or if we were working on a client. So 1, 2, and 3. And if you can't get it, pull on this hair. And if this is a real person, of course, you're gonna go with, the stiffness of her body, but we want that cushion in there for the volume. And now up at the top, same thing, I'm gonna brush through. And on the top, as I get to the top, I can actually brush this way, and then I can actually brush this way. I'm going to, smooth with my hands again. as I get here. So when I'm closer to the top, I'm also gonna pull out from where it's at and put my cushion in, 2 and 3, and then let it down. And you're gonna see the beautiful wave that it's gonna create. So you're probably asking, well, why are we putting cushion if we're gonna brush it out? Because that cushion will give that hair the volume even once I brush it out. So once I pull the curl off, then kind of with my hands and then put my cushion, 1, 2, and 3, and then pull down. Okay, I'm gonna move to my sides, and I'm doing 1 curl at a time. And in some cases, there are some stylists that don't even put the brush. They just use the oils from their hands. 2 and 3, and there's not a whole lot, but it's enough to give it the volume that I'm gonna need. Okay, pull it out and run through with your hands, like so. Try to push it all the way to the scalp. And come to the other side. Almost there. Pushed it to the scalp. Do like about 3. And then as I move around to the side, I'm almost to the top. Once again, when you pull that curl, let's say you were somewhere and you didn't have a brush, but you did have a comb, you could also take the comb. The only thing with the comb is the teeth are much smaller, but you could still do the cushion, but you may not get as much, but it'll still work. Last one on the side. Smooth it out with my fingers just to get the oil from my hands. And then I'm going to move the mannequin to the side. I'm going to again pull that hair all the way out towards you. Now if you have one of these brushes that has boar, oh, this comb out would be so smooth, and all those little flyaways wouldn't be as noticeable than when we're just using plastic. So if you get a chance to go to Sally's or you see these teasing brushes that have boar hair in them, it'd be a good idea to get one. Okay, so now I'm at the top, and so at the top, I'm also going to pull this hair this way. So I run my hands through it for the oils. And if I had finishing polish, then I could really get, away with a lot of these little flyaways. Okay, so on this part, I'm gonna put my cushion, I'm gonna pull the hair straight up. 2, 3, and then I'm going to pull it back. Same thing with the next 2. And then I'm going to move on to my brushing. You run your hands through it. Put your cushion, 1, 2, 3, and then I pull it back. I might go to the side, I don't know, until we start brushing it. I'll decide if I want it to all go back. Same thing here, run my hands through it, pull the curl out and to put your oils, and then put your cushion, 1, 2, 3, and then if I think I want to go back, I'll go back this way. or I could go back this way, but I'm just gonna kind of pull it where she wants to go. Okay, so at this point, you may have a little collection of hair going on, so you can go ahead and remove it. And now I'm going to start brushing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush, and I'm actually going to brush, and I will probably get through some of that cushion, but not all of it, but that's okay. And I get to my sides, I can decide if I want her to go this way or if I want her to go completely back. And most of the mannequins, if you borrow the mannequin from the school, you know, you're working with a doll that's had a lot of chemicals in it. And so they're not as healthy as a brand new doll. So in a minute, I'm going to pull this back like so. I'm going to take this section and I'm going to pull it all back, because this is not a look that has a lot of volume on top. The only volume she's going to get is the volume from the cushion that I put in. But remember, these are mannequin dolls that we've had here for a while, so a lot of them don't have a lot of hair. So I'm going to do something that I don't know that you have this clip in your kit or in the supplies that I lent you. And I did also want to share with you that if you ever find these little boxes, this was from the dollar store, and Ms. Ramirez and I went to every dollar store to buy like every box that they had at the time, but I haven't been able to find them anymore. So they're really cool. So if you find one, it's a cool little box. You just have to put a rubber band to make sure that it doesn't fall when you open it. So, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two clips here in a minute, and I'm going to put them on the sides as I flatten this hair out. So because I'm working on a stand, the mannequin's moving around quite a bit. So I'm looking in my mirror, and I don't know that you'll have one at home to use. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this part really nice and smooth. And as I'm working, she may wanna go over this way. I'm trying to alleviate from that thin spot she has in her hair. So I'm going to take my clip, and I'm just going to, right here on your sides, you really want to get your brush, and you want to really get this part nice and smooth. I'm going to move to a vise because it's moving around a lot on this stand, so I'm going to move to this vise. And I think I'll be able to work a little bit better. So you really, and it looks like I'm not really getting much out of it, but the curl is still there. So right here on the side, I really want to concentrate on getting the sides smooth. I'm going to put this clip right here. I want that wave. Then I'm going to move my mannequin to the other side, so I don't want to cross in front of your camera. But so on the next side, right here on the side, I really want that to be brushed back and away to where it's nice and smooth. We'll deal with the back in just a second, and you'll see why in a moment. So when I get this part nice and smooth away from the face, I'm going to take my clip and I'm just going to clip it right here. Okay. So then now I'm going to focus on the back. So on the back part, I'm focusing on the rhythm in this style. So you'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. And again, these are classic looks. So if you ever look at a pageant, their hair is like really, it looks like it doesn't hardly have any curl, but it's really nice and it's smooth. And then when they let it go, you're gonna have this wave. And this is what we're trying to achieve. I put this clip here for a second as I'm brushing so that this wave shows you the rhythm of this style. Now, of course, I could always go like this and I could fluff it out and make it into an evening style and my curl would still be there and my wave will be there. But this is a classic look. So the comb out is going to be a classic comb out. So you're gonna take those waves and you're gonna concentrate on keeping the rhythm going. And as you can see in the back, the rhythm is here. You see the wave? That's what we're going for. So when you see these looks, this is how they're accomplished. So I can actually take this entire piece here, bring it back, bring it all the way back, and then I can go ahead and rub my hands through it. And if I had a pomade or a polishing, I don't know what you have at home, but this is going to be the look that you're going to accomplish. So it's smooth, but yet it's classic. Once I remove these, then my wave should continue. So if you're seeing these styles, we had a really nice picture of one of the Kardashians, and she has this look, and it's just like a very soft wave. So as you're brushing her out and you still got to do her makeup, and if it's for a photo shoot, you can take your clips and just take one on each side. It's different when you're doing a real person, so that this wave here will begin to form on its own. So here, you're gonna smooth this part out. Now, I don't know what it looks like for you that are viewing from home, but this is basically the classic look that we're accomplishing. And that is it. So you can practice yours. Now, I don't know if you have clips at home, if I even put any of these in, but in case I didn't, you can put either a long bobby pin or some bobby pins here just to flatten it out while you're doing the brush here so that you get this nice arc wave. And so this is one of the classic looks. I know it probably doesn't look like a lot, but it looks more classic on somebody that's real, because this is a mannequin, so it's really hard to get the nice smoothness. And of course they haven't been trimmed, and you know, their ends are a little dry, but basically we're going to work with what we have, and that is your look. So it's time for you to practice your comb out.